Skate here from Normal Minecart. Welcome back to another review. And today I'm doing another game review. This one is the game Stardust Skate, which is made by the small VTuber friend group known as Bitchy Band. This is the third game they've made, and I've been playing this game a lot recently. You've probably seen me play on Twitch, or you probably saw my VOD of me playing it on Twitch. So anyways, the pros, the cons, and the mains. First off is the controls. Now I want to mention that Stardust Skate is an endless runner game, and I will touch upon that later, but yeah, the controls for this game are pretty good. Like the only controls you really need to worry about are W, A, S, and D, since A, S, and D. Okay, A and D lets you move side to side, and the W button lets you jump, but you can also use the space button to jump, and the S button. Okay, so basically, what you can do in this game is if you jump and then press the S button, you can do this little boost. But there are certain obstacles that if you jump above and then press the S button, you can bounce on it, which can let you bounce onto other objects or obstacles. Now do note, not all obstacles can be bounced on, but the game does show you, like, especially in the tutorial, it does show you, like, oh, like, or it doesn't show you, like, it gives you a hint of, like, oh, these are the obstacles that can be bounced on. And trust me, it is very calming for me, or maybe not calming. It's very nice to hear, like, the score multiplier go up, like, the more and more of a high score you get. And also, the cool thing is, you really can only use, like, your right or left hand. Like, all you need to use is, like, one hand for the controls. So that means one hand you could be playing the game, and the other hand you could be doing, whatever, like drawing, writing, fapping, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, next one is the graphics. Obviously, this game has the look of a PlayStation 1 game, and honestly, I dig that. And while yes, there are people who are sick of, like, the amount of games that are like, oh, the graphics are a homage to PlayStation 1 games. Honestly, I quite like it, especially with, like, the character designs and stuff. Next up is the music. Honestly, I quite like the music for the 4 levels we get, which we'll get at later. Yeah. I'll talk more about the music when I get to the other levels, but yeah. Honestly, the music's pretty good. Next up we have is the environments. The environments were all made by Shiabun, who is one of the members of the group, and honestly, they're pretty good. I quite like... again, obviously, I'll talk more about the environments when I get to the actual levels themselves, but yeah, honestly, they're pretty good. Now, okay, next up we have is Buff Pup. Now, I want to, like, before I continue on, something you need to know is that the 4 characters we have, they each have their own special ability. And I will, of course, be talking about those later, but yeah, Buff Pup. Honestly, I quite like her design, especially since out of the 4 Vichibon members, it's Buff Pup and Shiabun that I watch the most. I might plan on watching AI Candy or Rose Doodle later, somewhere down the line, I don't know, but yeah. I quite enjoy Buff Pup, especially another thing is, like, all characters have their own, yeah, they have their own voice clips. Now, when I say that, don't expect to hear 100 unique voice clips, because they only have, like, a couple of voice clips, and they have some more, but that's related to something else I'm going to be touching upon later. Next up is Shiabun. I also quite like his design, especially since they made his design is supposed to be like a movie nerd, and, you know, as a movie nerd myself, I quite like the characters, the design that Shiabun got. Next up is AI Candy. Her design is essentially a evil Rebecca Rabbit, and she looks pretty good. I will say that. And then finally, the final character is Rose Doodle. Honestly, I quite like her character. I just feel like I could just like pick her up and like hug her, and, like, she's so cute. And just okay. Anyways. Yeah, now we are getting into the abilities, or the 2 abilities for the pros. The first ability is AI Candy's ability. So, So all characters each have a total of 4 lives and can be hit a total of 5 times before the game can be over, or before the game ends. AI Candy's ability is, if she loses a life, like her little special ability bar will slowly charge up, and it actually slowly builds up a new life, which is pretty cool. And then the other ability, which is Shy Bun's ability, is the ability to double jump. Now, this is kind of a double-edged sword because on the one hand, double jump, like the double jump ability is awesome. But on the other hand, if you happen to play, if you happen to play Shy Bundle up, but then you switch to another character, it will take some time to get used to the fact that, oh, not all the other characters have the double jump ability. Unless you have the cheat codes enabled. Which, yes, this game does have cheat codes, and honestly, I quite like that, especially since, like, when I was a child, when I was, like, 5, I was, yeah, in my time of being 5, like, all the, like, all these, like, skateboarding games came out, and they had, like, all these fun cheat codes, like, big head mode, or they had, like, oh, this one can let you jump really high, or let you go very fast, and, yeah, so far the cheat codes I got, like, the ones are, like, big head mode, and then one that makes you small, and then there are the cheat codes that give you the abilities of different characters, which is really useful, and also, like, each character has, like, their own reactions when you have, like, these cheat codes on. My personal favorite is Buff Pup, because, like, she's, like, all freaking out and stuff, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's happening? But, yeah. So, yeah, honestly, if you want it, and also do note that when you have cheat codes on and you get any score, it won't be added to the leaderboard, which, you know, fair enough. But yeah, so if you wanted to, like, grind for this game's currency to get all the other skateboards, then using the cheat codes is definitely the best way. And the ones I would recommend are AI Candy's ability and Shia Bun's ability. Even if I haven't unlocked AI Candy's cheat code yet. But, yeah, I'll get to the micro, or not microtransaction, I'll get to that part later. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, next up, one of the 4 levels is Blackthorn Mire. It is this, like, haunted forest level that, okay, before I continue on, like, something you need to know is, like, the 4 levels do play into the lore of Ichiban, because, yes, that's right, just like my YouTube channel, Ichiban has lore, and, like, this attaches to, like, some arc that Buff Pup went through where, like, she, like, fell in this black ooze and came out as semi-black ooze wolf monster. I don't know, it's been a while since I watched that arc. But, yeah. Honestly, I quite like the music here in this level because it reminds me of, like, music you would hear in, like, the What's New Scooby-Doo show from a long time ago in the 2000s. Next one is the Morning Wood level, which, yes, haha, funny penis reference. But, yeah, this is a farm-themed level, and honestly, I quite like this level, especially with the music. Now, here's the thing. I have no idea how to square dance, but listening to this music just makes me want to square dance. And finally, this game has 0 microtransactions, which that is usually my main problem with endless runners. They usually have, like, microtransactions and ads, which is another thing. This game has 0 ads, which makes me very happy, which might make you think, well, how are they making money off this game? Well, this game does cost money, but it's quite cheap. It's like $3, which is something nice about Ichiban's games. They're either free or they don't cost that much. Which, considering what's going on with game prices right now, especially with Nintendo, yeah, I'm very glad that this game is quite cheap. But, yeah. And now for cons. I actually don't have any cons. I actually really did enjoy this game. And while, yes, I'm not the hugest fan on Endless Runners, this game, pretty fun, pretty addictive too. And also, something I want to mention is, while playing this game for a long time, you might want to occasionally blink, because even the members of Ichiban themselves have said, oh yeah, you might want to blink a few times, because, I think it was Buff Pup who said it, was like, oh yeah, you might want to blink a few times, because, like, my eyes were getting dry, so, yeah, don't forget to blink. If you get the reference I just made, then 10 points to you. And now we get to the mids. First off is the gameplay. Like I mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan of endless runners, and this game is an endless runner. But it's not the biggest deal. It doesn't completely ruin the game for me because, like I mentioned, this game is quite fun and quite addictive. Next up is the gacha element, which is how you get most of the skateboards. This can be annoying because, like, sometimes you can get like random pieces of junk, which in the lore of this game has been explained as like stuff that Doodle or that Rose Doodle has stolen, and they put it in the gacha machine to avoid their crimes. So yeah, and also the other problem is you can get duplicates of skateboards, which can get annoying sometimes. But hey, you know it's not a huge problem. Next up is Buff Pup's ability. It basically allows her to semi turn into her werewolf form and like destroys any obstacle in her way. And I say semi turn into her werewolf form because all she does is get on her hands and knees and summons the rage of a toddler and just rams into everything. Then there is Rose Doodle's ability, which basically lets her fly temporarily, while also being able to have like a magnet ability to take to pick up every single currency that is on the map or level. Which, it's decent, but, it's not the greatest. Then there is the Stardust City level. Honestly, to me, it's just like another city level you'd see in one of these Endless Runner games. But okay, just because it's in the mid doesn't mean I hate it. But it's just for me personally, it's a tad bit generic. And then finally, the Beachwood level. It's just beach level, and the music is also beach themed. I don't really have that much to say about it, but yeah. Honestly, this game is pretty fun, and I'm honestly quite excited for what else Vichibon has planned for this game's future. So yeah, and honestly, I give this game 7 out of 7 stars. So that means this game gets an Emerald Seal of Approval. And actually, recently, and by recently I mean on April 1st, they actually added a update where they added like these new skins for their characters, which are mostly themed after their little animal mascots they call goobers, which are really cute. But yeah, actually, before I end this video off, I actually remember watching Vichibon's newest podcast episode, and like Buff Pup and Shybun have mentioned, oh, we've seen people play this game on stream and stuff. Okay, if any of the members of Vichibon, especially Buff Pup or Shybun, happen to be watching this, first of all, Buff Pup, Shybun, I love both of you. Second, if there was one thing to add to Stardust Skate, personally, a multiplayer mode. I would absolutely love a multiplayer mode, especially since like the junk you can get from the gacha machine. It would be like funny if you could use that as stuff you could like throw at other opponents to kind of to kind of mess them up on like either getting like a score or something. I don't know. I think a multiplayer mode would be really fun. I'm just saying. But yeah. So yeah, that was it for this review. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more. And I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye.